Adding intelligence to bots has increased the scope and breadth of what you can automate. Today, my colleague Bruno Selva and I will show you some best practices. First, we're going to show you how you can use AI in a business-friendly way for extracting data out of documents. Documents are everywhere. Businesses are creating data at a very high rate today. Gartner estimates that 80% of the data is dark data, which is also sometimes known as unstructured data. It's a data that's locked in emails, text, PDFs, and scanned documents. AI technologies can capture, they can classify, and extract hidden data from these unstructured sources. Let's see how this works by taking one of the most common examples in organizations worldwide. In finance and accounting, invoice processing is one of the most time-consuming and error-prone use cases. Let's see how we can automate an invoice processing use case with IQBot. Invoices are automatically downloaded to a common repository by an email download bot. These documents that come in, especially invoices, are often multi-page, and they come in a different variety of vendor formats. First, these invoices are enhanced through some kind of pre-processing. Remember, all the technologies that I show you on the screen are pre-integrated in IQBot, so you don't have to integrate them yourselves. With enhancements, the quality of the image documents can be increased. And it helps by improving extraction by using techniques such as noise reduction, image enhancements, and others. Next, these invoices are split into different documents and classified. Data from these invoices is then extracted using the state-of-the-art AI technology. Again, these are all pre-trained AI models. You don't have to train them. They will automatically extract the information that you see on the screen. Once this data is extracted, the key pieces of data is extracted, the last step involves validation. Data extracted goes through another round to check and ensure that it has been extracted accurately. It can be further enhanced through Python scripts or RPA. Data that is flagged is validated and corrected by a human through a simple point and click interface. Once all these results are extracted, the data is converted into a structured format, and then it can be updated into an ERP system and approved for a payment. So I just showed you the workflow of what an automated invoice process looks like. At this point, let's look at a real live demonstration of this process.
So this demo, I'll show how this all comes together, how we take AI and put in a bot to solve the use case. So before we start with the bot, just want to highlight the auto extraction that Avi just mentioned. If you are already familiar with the learning instances, IQBot, you need to train the learning instance. The flow you have, you start showing IQBot the document, and you train IQBot how to identify that document. With auto extraction, in this example you see, the learning instance is pre-trained. Out of the box, you just say that you want to use that learning instance and IQBot can extract. So in this example here, we are using accounts payable process. The input from this process is an email. That might be any email. But at the end, what we want is to approve the invoice. So this bot will take all necessary steps and we'll use AI when it's necessary so the whole process can be automated. And we start with the classification of the emails. Is this email related to accounts payable? Maybe in the same account you have emails for some other purposes. So you take the IQBot will take the account payable email. We understand, is there an invoice here? Are there attachments here? So we save the attachments. And there's a second step where AI will also understand if it's an invoice, we take this to one bot. If it's a purchase order, there's another bot that needs to be triggered. And that's all automatically classified. When you send to IQBot, IQBot will understand how to extract this information. So using deep learning techniques and object detection, IQBot will look at the document as a human and will find the pieces of information that are required. If you look at the box and you see, visually identify, this box looks like an invoice number. So let me extract the number from this box. So IQBot, based on what the user wanted at the beginning, will look at the image and take the data and put in a structured format. So look at all the fields, invoice number, invoice date, invoice amount. We'll look at this in the document and will save a CSV with a structured data. And that makes very easy for a bot to take the data to the next step. But bots can handle structured data very well. In this case, we want to connect with SAP. So from the beginning, we know what SAP will be expecting. IQBot will send that data. So the next step, the bot will connect with SAP, will take the credentials that are security stored, open SAP, we'll get all the information that we got from this CSV, we'll compare with the information that we have in the database. Do we have a purchase order for this invoice? Is the value correct? Was the product delivered? So bots can do all of that. So once you have all this data and you match and you know that you can proceed with the process, we can add another step in the AI process. Normally, humans would review all the invoices before approval. So we also trained using custom AI models. If an invoice can be approved automatically, or if needs a human validation. With that, the bot is taking the process end to end, from the email that initially had some activity to be performed, through all those steps that bots can do. Sometimes you require human judgment, but then AI comes in, we'll make the decisions, we will use cognitive skills that are embedded in those intelligent bots. And at the end, you have the approval process. And here we see how the bot interacts with SAP. And like a human would do, the bot is taking all those steps and is completing the process. And we're talking about AI. So AI has exceptions. AI is not 100%. AI is continuously learning from a human. So if there's any exception, we also have an interface so the human can collaborate with the bot. So the human will handle exceptions and the bot can learn from it. For example, a document might not have a field, or IQBot's not confident that the field was identified. In this case, invoice number was missing. The human added the information and now we continue the process. And with that data, the bot can learn. And in the next time, IQBot will know how to find the invoice number that was missing in this example.